Okay, it's day 10, and today we're going to talk about our next sentence type. So, we've been talking about simple sentences. Today, we're going to talk about compounds. So, a compound sentence is when there are multiple subjects, but they are tied to different verbs. Okay, so here's an example of what we dealt with in our last video, where we dealt with our last couple of videos. We dealt with a simple sentence that had multiple subjects, multiple verbs, but it was still a simple sentence. Okay, so Sam and Christine celebrated and were excited. Okay, so this was a simple sentence because if you look down here, we have our verbs up top and our subjects below. Okay, so who or what celebrated? Well, Sam and Christine. Okay, and then the linking verb were applies to both Sam and Christine. So what you see here, okay, is there's this crossover. Okay, um, all of the subjects are sharing all of the same verbs. Okay, but if we rewrite this sentence just a little bit, Sam celebrated and Christine was excited. Look at how this changes. Okay, so in our little box over here, I have it written out. Note the difference. There's no crossover. The only subject acting on celebrated is Sam. And the only subject affected by the linking verb was is Christine. Each subject has its own verb. Therefore, there are two distinct and independent thoughts, which makes this a compound sentence. Okay? So, one subject acting upon one verb, another subject acting upon another verb. Now we have two different thoughts. This is what makes a compound. Okay, and yep, unlike a simple sentence, which is one complete thought, a compound sentence is made up of multiple complete thoughts, two, three, on to infinity if you really wanted to try. You could have a compound sentence with 100 different thoughts all linked together, and as long as it was punctuated right, it would be grammatically correct. Okay, now remember, a complete thought is when a subject has its own verb and can stand alone. And that little piece right there, standing alone, that's the last key to a compound sentence. Okay, so a compound sentence has multiple thoughts, but each of those thoughts have to be statements that could function on their own as complete sentences. Okay, so complete thought, complete thought, complete thought. If they're all joined together, okay, you have a compound sentence. All right, we'll talk about what happens when, as a matter of fact, we'll talk about this concept of an incomplete thought later on. Okay, but for right now, when you have multiple complete thoughts within a sentence, you have a compound sentence.